Hey everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris. You can't see me, but I'm here. Right here in Detroit. That's me. And this is my lovely home state of Michigan in the United States. And I'm looking at this because I wanted to talk a little bit about maps, but how you can use different maps to come up with a bug out plan. Bugging out is something that seems to come up a lot in the prepper community. There's probably, I don't even know how many videos about bug out bags. That seems to be the big thing. Everybody wants to have a bug out bag. And in case you're not familiar, what bug out means, at least the way that I define it, is I think of it as, say there's some sort of emergency and you need to leave your home or wherever you're sheltering in place and go someplace else. Usually by foot or maybe bike or some other non-motorized means. Now, in my mind, evacuating and bugging out are two different things. I think of evacuating, let's say if I'm in Detroit and there's some sort of toxic chemical spill, or there's been, I don't know, a bomb threat, or it seems unlikely, but massive fires. I don't think we have enough forests and whatnot, at least not around Detroit, to have some fires, but let's just say. It certainly isn't dry enough, I don't think, but, it could happen. Let's just say that, something like that happens, and I need to hop in my car, the mayor and the police department or whatever, they say, we're evacuating these neighborhoods. You load up your car with everything you think you need, you drive a few miles down the road, and let's say I go to Ann Arbor and I stay in a hotel and I'm safe. To me, that's evacuating. It's a very local event that causes you to leave, and more than likely temporarily. Bugging out, on the other hand, is usually, at least in my mind, the way I think of it, and the way I'll be talking about it for this video, it's something on a much bigger scale. Like, there's a good chance that you may not be coming back, at least not anytime soon. You won't be able to go just to the next city over to escape. It may be statewide, it may be regional, it may be the whole nation, it may be the whole world. And you need to get away from here. For whatever reason, you can't use your car. Maybe gas is limited, maybe there's been some sort of EMP, maybe it's just too dangerous to be out on main roads and due to, alien invasion. So that's the difference. And so, but I do think coming up with a plan and knowing where you're going and the best way to get there, or at least some options to get there, whether you're evacuating or bugging out, are probably a really good idea. Because you don't want to try to figure that stuff out when it's happening. And if you're thinking of taking main roads or you don't even know where to go, that's time that you're wasting, that when maybe minutes or seconds even count. If you're evacuating, there's a good chance that everyone else is evacuating too. And you don't want to get bogged down on the same, what have we got? 4 freeways coming out of Detroit. I think there's more than 4 freeways, but whatever. There's not that many. You don't want to get caught on the same ones that everybody else is going and stuck in your car. You may not be able to flee. That may put you in greater danger. So the idea here is using a few different maps to try to come up with a plan, come up with some routes, some options. So even if you don't know where you're going to go specifically, you've got some ideas of where you could go and maybe some back roads to get there. And that's really the whole point of this video, is if you are someone who believes that you are going to need to bug out or evacuate at some point, you got to have a plan. And so here's a couple maps that I really like, and I use them more for like our hiking and biking trips, maybe our road trips. I'm going to be honest, bugging out isn't really part of my plan. I have a hard time coming up with a scenario where that makes sense for me in my situation and where I live. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense for you. So if you're someone who thinks that's something you got to do, let's do it. So I'm going to zoom in on Detroit. And what I like a couple of different things about Google Maps that it does that some of the other sites don't do. And one of the main ones is it shows me traffic. So if you go up to that menu there and hit traffic, it gives me so this is live traffic right now. Green meaning fast moving traffic, and as it turns darker red, it's slower, and it shows construction. And so on a typical day at this time, I can kind of expect traffic to be fairly light, and I should be able to get through no problem. Over here we got some issues, some backups. Over here we got some backups. But this is on a typical day. So it'll obviously be worse if there's some sort of emergency going on and a bunch of people are evacuating. But this does give you a pretty good idea. We can switch over to typical traffic. And let's say on a Monday at 9 a.m. or let's say on I don't know, a Thursday at let's say more like rush hour. Let's say 4:30. What's it look like? All right, so now we've got orange going across here. We've got more orange around. And so I like this feature of Google Maps. I think that's very useful. I also like that you can see a satellite view. I think that's pretty useful. Being able to do basically some reconnaissance by putting this little guy. If I wanted to see what this area is like over here, let's go into Canton. Let's see. How's this neighborhood look? What can I expect? I can just kind of grab this guy and let's throw him down on Cherry Hill Road there, and I can kind of use this to help make some plans. All right, we got a lot of fences around here. There are trees. If I were better at identifying trees, I might even tell what those are and kind of make some plans of what I may need. So I know it's like, all right, we got a lot of fences, we got housing, nice little residential area, shopping centers, and all of this information may be useful to me. Maybe it's not. It depends on what my plans are and what I'm trying to do and what's going on. Oh, Curves is permanently closed. Mice and Spa. State Farm Insurance. Some places that don't actually seem all that useful in a bug-out situation, but you never know. They might have some snacks or something. And then I just hit escape to get out of there. Let's see. I don't like the satellite view as much, but good to know that it's there. Let's get rid of the traffic as well. I don't need that. Let's see how the terrain looks. View topography and elevation. So that gives us some ideas. I don't know if you know how to read a topographic map, but that's something that is useful that tells you elevation. So there's a pretty big hill here, and it's this circle here, this line all around here. If you were to walk around that, you would stay at the same elevation. As you go this way, you're going down in elevation as each one of these lines you cross. The closer the lines are together, the steeper it is. The further spaced out they are, the more gentle that slope is. So here's some hills, some very intentional looking hills. Not sure what that is over there. So that's something that you can look at as well, because that's fairly important to know. I like that it tells me some of the stores and things that are around, because maybe along my way, oh, there's a restaurant. That might be good to know. If there's gas stations, if there's restaurants, if there's whatever. And if I wanted to, I have a GPS device. You right-click here, it gives you the longitude and latitude, which can also be very helpful. Especially so that I just clicked on it and it copied it to my clipboard. And so now if I wanted, I can go to Caltopo, which I like a lot. And this gives me some different things than Google Maps does. So, for example, if I wanted to see public lands, it highlights those and it gives me a color code. So this here is tribal land. USFS, that's the United States Forest Service. So this is, what do you call it? I mean, it's forest, like national forest. And so again, that's pretty useful because national forests, it's public land. We can kind of use that. We can camp there. We can do various things there. NPS. You know, I'm not sure what NPS stands for. But that's this. Pink, whatever that is. Yellow. I can't even read that. FWS, I think? Yeah, FWS. I'm not sure what that is either. But the colors that I'd be interested in is this red and this green, really. So you can see that in various places. I can turn that off. Fire history. Not much happening there in Michigan, anyways. Well, let's see, weather shading. I've actually never used some of this stuff. I don't know how helpful that would be when planning, but it does tell us what to expect with the weather right now. It says 24-hour low. Alright. But at any rate, what I actually like this map for is, let's see, if we zoom in, and let's try to find something of interest. Oh, I can type in, copy and paste that coordinates, and it'll take me right there. Not that that was such a useful place to be in, but I can do it. Now, there are a few different interesting things here. Let me kind of get my bearings and figure out where I am. Here's see, this is the Michigan MDOT line, which is a railroad. And so, depending on what's happening, railroads, a good chance that they will not be in use. Railroads also go in basically straight lines from point A to point B. And this particular railroad, if it's the one that I believe it is, and I'm just trying to get a look at where we are here. I think this is the one that I'm wanting. This line, I believe, goes all the way from, actually, let me just make it easier. I'll just go where I need to go. What is that thing called? The Rouge River Walkway, I think is what it's called. Something like that. No, it's a Rouge River. What is that place called? Trailhead? I can't remember. Yeah, Rouge Gateway Trail. There it is. So this is where we often go hiking. And across the street from it, from the trailhead, is the train station. Right here. And so, yeah, it's the MDOT Michigan line. And so this starts in Dearborn. Actually, it keeps going. I'm not sure how far down that way, but I've never, like, I've always started like right there. And it goes at least to Chicago. and it goes in a straight line, or a virtually straight line, and it'll take you all the way to Chicago. It goes through a lot of the major cities, such as Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, I think Jackson, basically all those cities that are along the way. And what's cool about this map, or this, these map service, Caltopo, one, it's free. It's topographic maps. They show you a lot of trails that are highlighted in this dotted red line, or either the purple. So the purple is a paved trail, and these red dotted lines are like hiking trails. And what's cool is you can add markers, and you can make lines, and you can do other various things. So if I wanted to say, put a marker point here, and I could put this as, I don't know, let's call this dead end. And I can change the style of this. Oh, it's just going slow. Whatever. Or maybe, yeah, I'll just use that life jacket thingy. And I can change the color if I want. Let's make it purple. And now I can put it wherever I want. Let's say right there. Okay. And now I have that dead end there. And then I can also make lines. And again, I can change the color if I want. I can change the opacity, the line weight. I can make it thicker or heavier. There's a lot of different things you can do here. And what's nice is the yellow sections that it's highlighting here. Let's leave that too. It will kind of auto-fill. So let's just go here. And my laptop is really not liking what I'm doing here. I guess X that one out. I'll X these out, I suppose. I'll just work on this one. That's good. Alright, so I guess I can mess it up a little bit, but it will highlight. Oh, jeez, let's just cancel it. I'll try again. Come on. And try it again. Make a line. Alright, so I'm going to start right here. And take your time. And it will highlight the trail for you. So you can make these custom maps and highlight different things and use different colors and symbols to kind of... Alright, we're just going to leave it there and just have that part. Come on. Good enough. I'll give it a name. Tiger Trail. Right, so now Tiger Trail is highlighted red. And it's also over here, Tiger Trail and Dead End. So if I need to edit them or delete them or whatever, I can do that. And it doesn't have to be just those yellow ones. So if I wanted to highlight this Michigan line, I can add another line. Except here, now I have to, I'm going to try to make it a different color if it'll let me. Let's go with yellow. Let's go green. Let's do blue. It's a little confusing. Blue is usually water. And so I can just make the line however I want. I don't have to use that yellow. And Yeah, I can just make this. Alright, let's just do that. It's not happy. It's not happy with me. My computer normally isn't this slow. I think it doesn't like the screen recording that I'm doing. Perhaps that's the problem. Um, okay. And so now I have this map that's showing this trail. And so the idea here is that I could potentially look for various trails, look what's going on, use the two maps between Google Maps and this. I have a really good idea of elevation. I know what traffic's going to be like. And I could come up with some routes that would lead me, say, if there's my house right there, take an off-road to the railroad tracks and follow those all the way to wherever it is I need to go. Now, within the city, like this is a pretty busy area. People will see me, but I'm avoiding a lot of the traffic. There could be other people walking, and of course, walking on train tracks is dangerous. You could get run over by a train. They go faster than what they look like. There's also the element of suction, so if you're too close to them, you can get out of the way. They can still suck you under. It's extremely dangerous. But we're talking about an emergency scenario, and you don't have to necessarily walk actually on the train tracks. You can walk next to them. In most cases, there may be like a bridge or something where you don't have a choice. And if it's in that type of emergency, good chance that the rail system isn't working either. You could also, it would be terrible, walk along this river. Probably be really wet and boggy and tough walking. But this is a river, at least in this area, that goes pretty far. And if you look, it goes kind of along this freeway. All the way down here, and then there's still, it gets smaller, but so you could follow that and use that as a navigation as well, and you will avoid a lot of people, a lot of neighborhoods, a lot of busy roads. It won't be fast by any means, especially where there's no trail, but you could do it, and that's something that you need to think about. And this is where, so we've got some coordinates here, 42.2833 and minus 83.4993. And I can also look at the roads here. So it looks like that's, say, Newton and Beck South. So if I go back to Google Maps, then I can drop my little guy in there and see what that actually is. So what did I say it was? I could probably put those coordinates in. Oh, it doesn't want me to copy and paste them. Alright, so let's say, what did I say? Newton and Beck South. Newton Street, and that was in Michigan. Lansing, well, that sounded like more like Dearborn. And so, yeah, here's that river I was talking about. Here's the freeway that was running alongside it. Let's see if I can find that Newton and Beck South. Illinois, Wayne, I think it's past there. We might be getting there. Newburgh, nope. Doesn't really matter. I could probably just pick some place. But, actually I should be getting pretty close to that road. Actually, it should be around here. Oh, there it is. Beck Road, and what did I say? Newton, which was probably, let's just say that that's Newton, whether it is or not. So yeah, now I can grab my little guy and take a look, see what's over here. Little guy, come over here. Get your butt over there, little guy. I can see what this is about. See what I mean? See what I mean? Check things out. I'm like, alright. This looks pretty fancy over here. They probably got a lot of security. Over here, this also doesn't look like it'd be a high traffic area. And look at that, a lot of woods that way. Looks like a lot of nothing over there. So maybe that would be a safe place for me to walk through, or hide, or camp for the night. So I like that you can kind of make plans in that way, using these two different map services. I'm going to do another video kind of walking through, hopefully, how Caltopo works. You can, sorry, let me add this in real quick. Hit Control P, or either this right here, and you can print out your map. And it lets you choose kind of where you want to plot it. So you can go this way, you can change it to portrait, to landscape, if that makes better sense for you. The page size, if you are using the free version, you can only do 8.5 by 11. However, if you want to upgrade and have a paid version, then you can do all these different sizes. And then you can use different scale as well. If this means anything to you, I've talked about scale, I think, before in a different video. I'll probably talk about it again in another video, but for right now, we'll say, you know, most of the time you're going to be at you know, say maybe that one. You could also do not fixed, so you could do like some weird sizes if you want, if you don't care about scale at all. Just however you want to fit your information. And then you can have the grid lines, or you can choose not to have them. You can go in latitude or longitude. There's like a bunch of different options here. And then generate PDF. And then you can either save that PDF, or you can save it and print it. Or you could just print it. Up to you. You can also put a title on there. I forgot to mention that. So if I wanted to call this Escape Plan A, I can do that and generate that PDF. And now it has down there Escape Plan A. It's showing my UTM grid lines. Did I include... It doesn't look like I included the icon when I printed this out, but it would show your icons. It would show... actually, let me see. Where did I... Let me go back. Let me go back. Start over. No, not start over. Start over. Let me just go back to where I was drawing, so you can see what that looks like. There we go. And now let's print that. And I'll just move this over here, and now he'll be able to see, generate PDF. I'm not going to give it a title. Snowpoke. And hopefully it'll show us this map. And then, yeah, you can print it, you can save it, laminate that bad boy, have your plans, and you can make as many of these as you want. You can also save these maps. You can't save them forever, like the working copy. I think it's like 7 days or something like that. And so you got this green save icon. Okay, you got to sign in for that. They recently changed the site. I was able to save before, but it didn't keep it forever. So make your plans, make your maps, print them out, and that's it. Or go ahead and um, it doesn't cost that much, and this is a really cool site. Let me see if I can. And this is all free that this guy has made, and it's just an awesome website. I use these maps quite a bit. There we go. So now we have dead end right there with our icons and our map, and with all of our lines and any other notes. If you don't want to have these grid marks on there, you don't have to have them. Take them off. It gives you um, the declination for your compass, um, your UTM zone number, tells you the scale, all the stuff that you need to be able to use this map in a useful way. Alright, I hope that this was helpful to you. If you have any questions about this software or any ideas that I've talked about, if you got any suggestions, maybe there's something better, a better mapping service that I don't know about, please leave it in the comments. And like and subscribe. It does help the channel out, encourages me to keep making videos that you may like, and it also helps me know what type of video you guys like. So if you enjoy this sort of thing, hit that like button. If you don't, then don't hit the like button. I know not to make any more videos like this. Catch you in the next one. Bye!